So like as with any great technology, as with any technology generally, because the technology is new, there are no laws to address it.
Right.
AI, we already have laws on the books, like California has AI laws, and the EU has the EU AI Act.
Okay.
They're like laws that attempt to regulate AI. And the question that lawmakers have, like a lot of experts I talk to, think the EU AI Act is not good at all. Like it's just terrible approach to the problem, right? That's like the question of like, do we stop speeding by installing speed bumps, or do we install traffic lights? Like, what do we do? So it's like the same thing. Like, how do we regulate AI? Like, how do we actually physically approach the regulation of AI? And so from a legal perspective, the law is behind as it relates to like the most advanced capabilities. Mm-hmm. So these like emotion engine models and like emotion recognition models and the way that companies are using them, there are really like not a lot of laws addressing these things on the books.
Yeah.
The first question also is like, how do we define AI?
Yeah.
And do we define the product being used in the law, or do we use the conduct? Do we say, whether or not it's AI, you can't do this with machines, period. There's a lot of questions, and I don't have the answers, but lawmakers don't have the answers either. Everybody's kind of just trying to tackle this. And in the meantime, as this debate goes on in the law, as these like laws take years to draft and years to get passed and stuff like that, these models are pushing forward. And they're being used and deployed in all sorts of curious and interesting ways where if you knew there wasn't a law governing that use, you probably would want a law governing said use, right? Like that's how crazy it is. And so we are sort of in the Wild West, but it's not like totally unregulated. And there is a need for obviously an ethics. And like, even if it's not like, a question like cloning, which can easily become a very like moral and like theological based decision for people in terms of AI, it's like, look, regardless of whether or not you have a particular, personal belief about this technology, it's going to be used on you.
Yeah.
Right. So like for you, your question is not like, oh, I can dismiss this, or I can say it. Like, it's easy for people to be like, hey, like, we shouldn't clone humans. Okay. Nobody's cloning humans. Right? Like, as far as we know, like, no one's actually trying to do. There's not really a market for that. Right? Like, it's not like you can do something with a cloned human. Now you've just got a new human. Like, that's got rights and everything. And so, like, with the AI question, it's like, dude, whether or not you're engaging in this stuff, you just sitting on your sofa at home passing the time, the AI is coming for you. Like it is and not coming for you in the sense, we're not trying to sell fear. It's obviously not like a fear thing. We're not anti-AI. We're also not trying to sell the AI. We're completely, neutral in this perspective, but like you will be subject to something AI based eventually. And increasingly more so. Your interactions with your government might become AI based. Your interactions with your favorite vendors, with your favorite restaurants, with the way your healthcare system works, the way your banking system works. All these kinds of things are going to be totally revamped with the use of AI. And so whether or not you like it, this is something you're subject to. So you as an individual, as a citizen, as a person, have an interest in saying, hey, like, I actually don't want AI to do this. I don't want AI deciding whether or not I get a job. I don't want AI deciding whether or not I get insurance. I don't want AI calibrating my insurance rate because it thinks I should pay more. I want these decisions to be made by a human. And like, do you have that right? Should you have that right? Right? Like, one of the architected like solutions to like artificial intelligence is like, oh, you must have a human in the loop. As long as there's a human in the decision-making loop, you should be fine. But then you've just got like Bob accounting, stamping everything that an AI has already decided. And I've got a human in the loop. How do we define what a human in the loop really is? And like, and again, like I don't have the answers to these questions.
Well, that just reminded me about something I saw the other day about like the class divide will be those that can think and those that can't. And so it's like, but it's the same thing where you'll have the AI controllers and ones controlled by it. So it's ones that can still think, ones that can't essentially, and will fall prey. I mean, I know we always talk about it. It's like, the wealthy will not be as much victimized by AI as like middle lower class. But I also wonder if our like malleability to the technology also decides at some point where we sit in society, because like Bob that's just stamping, there's still going to be ranking in where do we embed ourselves in these positions with AI, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's like I totally understand that like whole perspective, right? Like there is, but the thing is like that's how things kind of are.
Yeah.
So like
I mean, I get the point that we're putting all decision making on a very shitty like vetting system, essentially. A guy checking it to make sure AI is like behaving, essentially.
Yeah. Or even like not even checking it, but like what I'm saying is that like if you create a rule that says AI can be used to do anything as long as there's a human in the loop, then like a human in the loop could mean anything. It could be something so insignificant that it's not actually solving the problem that the rule is designed to address from a policy perspective, right?
Yeah.
So like when like that's like saying like you know like I don't know, that's like saying like for like it's like what tool do we want to use to address that? So it's like I can't even find a good analogy right now, but like so does the approach of like saying there should be a human involved, does that actually fix the problem? And probably not, right? Like it has to be a deeper approach than we need some other approach. There are other approaches, like the EU has approaches of their own. You know, a lot of people are saying like, oh, like when it comes to like these categories of things, when it comes to like your job, like, you know, whether or not you get approved for an apartment, whether or not you get approved for a loan, you shouldn't be allowed to use AI because those are high risk decisions.
Yeah.
High risk decisions can't have AI. There's people who approach it that way. I don't know if that works.
So you're just saying like basically there's a gap in supervision because just everybody's policy is different, so it's uneven, and different priorities within each, you know, whether it's a country or institution, whatever, their policies are just not matching each other. What's important?
Yeah, they don't match. They definitely don't match. But it's because nobody has figured out like how to sail the sea.
Yeah,
right?
or
like,
where it should be going.
It's like it's like we're all trying to figure out how to get a boat on the water, but none of us ever built a boat before,
right?
And it's our first time seeing water.
Yeah,
and so it's like okay, we're all just trying to figure out like does this float? How do we do this? And so slowly we'll figure it out. But like right now, we're as good as caveman, just trying to figure out, you know, what floats and what doesn't and how to get into the water. And so like, does this approach work over another? We honestly don't know whether the approach works, but what people should be thinking about is what's important to me and what areas of my life would I care where AI, like I wouldn't want AI involved in that